Everything you need to know about leadership. Behind every successful organization, you have an influential leader guiding the way and leading it to new heights. Do you also want to become an effective leader that does the same? Well, then we have prepared the perfect guide for you in this video. Hello everyone, my name is Robert Lowry and I am a life and leadership coach, and I help empower people to develop confidence to create a career and a life they desire and deserve. If you're new here, I want to welcome you to my channel. If this sounds like something that speaks to you, make sure you hit that like button, and while you're at it, please consider subscribing to my page and hit that notification button so you know when all the new videos are being released. And if you already are a subscriber, I want to welcome you back to my page. So let's get into it. In today's video, we're going to dive into the important things you need to know about leadership. So this video is going to give you 4 main parts. In the first section, we're going to talk about why leadership matters. And then the next, what are all the leadership qualities? And then we're going to talk about how you can polish your skills and implement them in the workplace. So let's dive in. Why leadership matters. Without the right type of leadership, a company simply cannot succeed. You see, leadership is the core of every organization, ensuring that the ship stays afloat and it doesn't sink. So as a leader, you have to make sure that everyone else is working under you, stays motivated, and they do their job in an effective manner. A leader acts as a glue that holds everything together and helps the company and the employees fulfill their maximum potential. If we look at the richest and most successful men in the world, then we can see that they are also individuals with magnificent leadership skills. They work tirelessly for their organization, and then they are able to reap all of the benefits. Now, we can go on and on about all the way leadership matters, but I think you get the gist. The summary is that if you want to be successful and have your name on the next Forbes list, then you better start working on your leadership skills. But before we get into this further, keep in mind that there are many different kinds of leadership. The biggest, most obvious example is of leaders in the workplace. But that's not all. We have leaders inside every home, ensuring that everyone else is taken care of and their needs are being met. And we also have leaders in every community. But most importantly, before every other type of leadership, we have self-leadership. If you don't know what this is, then it's basically the ability to develop and manage your energy in a way that you are able to utilize all of your talents to fulfill your goals. Leadership starts with you, and guide yourself in an effective manner. One of the biggest misconceptions about leadership is that a leader only leads and bosses other people around. But that should never be the case. The best leader is the ones who also serve others and sets an example how others should work. Remember, as a leader, everything shouldn't be about yourself. Leadership is about making others better, and when a leader is defeated, his people will also fail. Leadership has always been important, and if you are here watching this video, then it means that you have hopefully understood why. Leadership qualities. Before we start talking about all the practical steps you can take to become a better leader, let's talk about all the essential leadership qualities that every leader should have. We will also give you some tips that will help you integrate these qualities into your daily life. So integrity. Perhaps one of the most valuable traits in any leadership is integrity. Leaders who have integrity are honest, trustworthy, and reliable. They follow through with every promise that they make, and most importantly, they accept their mistakes instead of blaming others on their team. They don't make excuses, they don't hide important information from their team. A great leader inspires others with his ideals and refrains from making false guarantees or taking shortcuts. They choose honesty over personal gain, and they're always ethically and morally grounded. This has many positive impacts on the entire team and the company. It makes the employees loyal to the company, and it encourages high performance. This is it, essential that as a leader, you should try your best to cultivate integrity inside you. Try to always hold yourself to a high moral standard. Avoid any and all questionable practices. Remember that your actions will now represent the entire team and the company. Before taking any steps, assess the aftermath and the consequences of your actions. Be responsible. So if you want others to follow you, it is important that you build a good reputation for yourself. Just because you are in a position of a leader does not necessarily mean that your employees will follow you. You need to prove to your employees that you are worthy of being followed. Sounds like a hassle, doesn't it? Well, who said being a leader is easy? One way of proving yourself is to always be consistent with your actions and your words. If you yourself aren't following all the company policies and its values, then your employees will not take them seriously. Do not just spark out orders. Lead by example. So research proves that leaders with integrity foster trust and satisfactions in the employees. They will feel compelled to follow the leader and show more positive behaviors. Hopefully, that's all the motivation you need to try to instill this quality in you. Okay, so now let's look at honesty. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at honesty. Another way of establishing trust and admiration in your employees is to become an honest leader. Once again, it's not easy, but extremely important. As humans, we naturally look up to people who are honest and who can be easily trusted. So, honesty is a rare trait that makes it even more valuable. A business mirror that images of a leader, and if you put honesty and moral choices at the center of your vision and values, your crew will follow. Leaders need to be critical in defining the values of the organization and selling those to the customer and personnel. As a leader, you have to be the one who establishes a system of honesty, and once again, you have to lead by example. If you make a mistake, be honest and come clean to the staff so that you all can work together in improving your organization. Now keep in mind that one lie will always lead to another, and trying to keep your lies together is even harder than being honest. Now, you should not only be honest to others, but try to be honest to yourself. Never shy away from difficult circumstances and always face the reality of the situation. As a leader, it is your duty to spot out all the weaknesses in your organization and in yourself. This is the only way you'll be able to learn and improve. Honesty to yourself means to be self-aware and don't pretend to be someone you're not. Your employees are observing you daily and they can easily see through you. Be authentic and you will automatically inspire admiration. The best kind of leader is never scared to be vulnerable as they show their employees that they are free to express themselves and their ideals. This creates a healthy workplace and an environment where everyone is able to fulfill their maximum potential. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at Delegate. Okay, so it says here, a successful leader also knows that they shouldn't do all the work by themselves. Instead, should learn how to delegate. In order to refine your brand, vision, and value, you need to involve all of your staff in the work process and train them in the best possible way. It is your duty to delegate duties with talent and care. Assigning work to the proper departments. The key to delegation is figuring out the strengths of every single group that guides your business and take advantage of their skills. Find out the strengths and weaknesses of every member in the crew and then assign work accordingly. Allotting tasks in this way will ensure that the work is done in the best possible way. If you assign the work accordingly to the employee's skill, then it will boost their motivation and they will do the work with enthusiasm. As you can already guess, this increases productivity and encourages teamwork. Now that you are a leader, you have to remember that this is not a one-man army. You now have countless people depending on you, hoping to be taught and trained in this field. Keep in mind there will always be times your team will make mistakes. Don't be harsh with them and instead teach them with patience. This will be enough to make them realize their mistakes and they will learn some important lessons. Lashing out never works, so please don't do that. So one of the biggest obstacles that leaders face while delegating is that they expect perfection. And when they don't get that, they become heavily disappointed and try to do everything themselves. However, leaders who try to do this usually fail and never manage to get anything done. Don't be that kind of leader. So practicing delegating and trying to be patient with your employees. Communication. All of the qualities a good leader has, one of the most important is good communication. Communication is like one of the most powerful tools and it helps you share your goals and achieve exactly what you need. If you can't share your vision, values, and expectations with your team, it is impossible to work and achieve the same goals. Good leaders are those who provide their employees with quality training experience and create productive work environments. All of this requires strong communication skills. When the company is affected by a major technical or financial problem, or when the company is changing their goals, employees turn to managers and they expect clear communication. Communication should be consistent when it comes to setting work expectations or providing constructive feedback. With good communication, your employees will have a full understanding of what they're working for. A good leader communicates effectively by thinking of whom they're communicating to and adapt accordingly. The best leader also learns what kind of communication is most effective with individual employees. Some employees need a slight nudge in order to correct their mistakes, while others need a full-blown lecture. Regardless, a leader should know the company's needs. The leader has to be particularly adaptive at communicating because this is his or her job. And it all comes down to inspiring people with your words and actions. Using your words effectively will indirectly increase productivity and boost morale. Okay, so let's take a look at this. In order to have good communication, you need to be a good observer, and you need to keep analyzing and assessing what strategy works and which ones don't. Keep on using a method of trial and error, and don't forget the process of learning never stops. Learn from those under you and learn from those above you. Active listening. As a leader, your job is not to just communicate and command, but also to listen to your team and your employees so that you can also learn from them. Active listening is not an easy thing to do. It's an art and a skill that requires a high degree of self-control. Often when we're talking to other people, our mind shuts down and we zone out. Other times we try to multitask and listen to others while scrolling through our phones or typing on our laptop. This is particularly a bad habit for leaders. If you don't listen to your employees carefully, they will feel demotivated and they will not work to the best of their abilities. This is why you need to actively work on becoming a better listener. Even if you have to do important tasks, focus on the person speaking and try to comprehend what they're saying. Using your body language to show that you are interested in what the person is saying and use it to engage with them. Crossing your arms gives a very closed off and unwelcoming vibe, so try not to do that. If you have something to add, wait for them to finish. Do not interrupt them in any way. Showing that you are listening by saying affirmative phrases like I see or understand. Remember that an active listener is the best kind of leader. Focus and strategic planning. A distracted leader can never be successful, which is why a leader should always focus on the needs of their company, their employees, and the situation. They should always think of strategic plans that can help their company get the results that they need. As a leader, it is your duty to study the market trends and keep innovating and coming up with new ideas. This will help your organization get an edge over all other companies. The market is changing every single day, and competition is getting harsher with time. This is why leaders that are focused on their mission and those that can anticipate future trends will be the most successful. If you want to stay up to date, it's essential that you read the news regularly and stay up to date with all the happenings. You should also research past market trends so that you can understand the patterns in your industry. Positivity. Successful leaders who create a positive and inspiring environment in the workplace. They know how to set the tone and produce a mindset that motivates their colleagues to take action. As such, they are likable, respectable, and strong-willed. They don't allow disasters to disrupt their momentum of the workplace. Being a leader does not mean that you should be rigid. Relax your mind and allow yourself to laugh and smile in the workplace. This will create a satisfying and a wholesome workplace environment even during busy and disturbing periods. If employees feel that they are working in a positive work environment, they'll be more passionate and enthusiastic about their work. This will automatically make them work harder and increase productivity. Positivity also can be promoted by giving ideals to your crew. Acknowledge the tasks that they can do and commending them on their personal and team efforts. If your leaders are positive, then groups are positive as well. If you want to be a positive leader, you should stop complaining and blaming. Instead, develop a solution-oriented approach. Encourage your team to find solutions instead of focusing on the problem and obsessing over it. When things go wrong, remember to always attack the problem, not the person. You should also lead with love and don't lead with fear. Fear can be draining for you and the employees, whereas love is ever-sustaining and it unites everyone. Lastly, a positive leader should be demanding but never demeaning. This means that you can direct other people to do their tasks, but do it in a way to uplift them and encourage them. Making these small adjustments may have significant effects on your organization. Being an amazing leader doesn't happen in a single day, and it calls for you to be patient, determination, and the power to succeed. How to improve your leadership skills and become the best. Now the thing is, nobody is born as a perfect leader. There are some skills that we learn only through experience and conscious effort. The most successful leaders is the ones that work on amplifying their strengths and overcoming their weaknesses to the best of their abilities. If you're the type of leader that believes, I am perfect, then sorry to say, but your company is doomed. A good leader is always open to criticism and learning. That is how you stay up to date, and that is how you stop yourself from being complacent. If you want to be a successful leader, you need to recognize what you know and what you don't. This approach will make you understand how to make decisions, and it will help you identify problems and issues the second they appear. You will always look for possibilities to improve and find ways to upgrade your management style. Be passionate. We've already talked about how leaders unwillingly improve are bound to fail. That is why you should be passionate about learning and improving. Not just that, you should also inspire other employees to do their best and keep improving. While it is easy to say this, it is no way easy to achieve. The energy you have in your workplace can make a huge difference, which is why you need to show that you are passionate to learn. This is something that matters to you. This way, employees will find it easier to give you feedback and help you in your journey to becoming the best leader alive. Take leadership courses. Most leadership skills are soft skills rather than hard skills. And these soft skills related to management can be learned through structured training and short courses. These guides can help the individuals grow and learn what's required. It will unlock many of their hidden abilities and enhance their management skills over time. Moreover, those guides permit you to understand the concepts behind different leadership styles. Now, there are many leadership courses out there, including videos on YouTube, like the one you're watching right now. Now, you can choose to attend a workshop or choose an in-person training session. It depends on your preference. An easy Google search will offer more than an alternative that will help you locate the best fit according to your schedule, your skills, desired charges, and durations. Consider every opportunity because leadership skills are primarily based on soft skills. Every day gives an opportunity to work and learn. So from ordering an espresso at a neighborhood cafe to discussing a challenge in a crew meeting, you may hone your communication skills through simple public speakings and encounter. Keep observing and see what works and what doesn't. Oftentimes we neglect these social interactions and carry them out without any effort. We forget that they have an ability to teach us in many valuable things. By becoming more aware of these social interactions, we will look at everything as opportunities to learn and grow. We will become proactive and will hone even the most basic skills in a phenomenal way. So try it out and tell us what you think. So brush up on your hard skills. Team members seek out their leaders when they get stuck on a task and don't know what to do next. These team members hope that their leaders can provide effective solutions based on their knowledge and experience. If they do not find the solutions with their leaders, the team can lose confidence in him or her as leaders. Because of this, a leader must have excellent skills and knowledge of the overall project. If you prove yourself as a competent, well-learned, and aware leader, then your team will trust you and admire you and appreciate you. Their confidence in you will grow over time and they will rely on you. A company that has a strong leadership like this can get through the worst of times. So make sure that your hard skills are up to date and you can impress your employees whenever they need help. Personal reflection. If you are committed to improving development skills and have used some of the methods listed above, it is important to take some time to think about your weekly routine and assess yourself. Think about specific situations and how you deal with them, and as they will help identify areas that they need improvement. Now think about how you could have done better. This way you'll be prepared if the same situation repeats itself. Your response the second time around should be better, more productive, and more inspiring. The key to success is to know that there is no perfect leader. There is always room for improvement, and the journey to learning never ends. Everyone in a leadership position should think this way. Think about the work and focus on improving the way they lead the team. Find a mentor. If there's a manager or leader around you that you admire, then ask them to guide you. If they have been in the field for a long time, then chances are that they have some valuable insights that you can learn from. You'll never know unless you ask. So ask right away. This is a great way to learn leadership skills and get feedback on your strengths and weaknesses from people who can help you with your work. The best way to learn is to study with the person you like the most. Whenever it's possible, ask a respected leader to give you some advice. They can help you set goals and develop them so that you can use your skills to become a better leader. Practical steps you can take to become a better leader. Leadership is about imagining how tomorrow can be better than today, creating a plan to fulfill that vision and inspiring others to accept and then stick to the course, especially when it gets difficult. This requires attracting talented people to your organization so that they can form a strong team. The real work starts after that. You have to work on developing, influencing, and guiding team members so that you can coordinate and work cohesively to achieve the mission and outperform the competition. Be an inspiration. For that, the first most important thing you have to do is be an inspiration. Being a leader means being part of a team. As a leader, you need to be able to motivate and inspire those who work with you to ensure they're fulfilling their maximum potential. If a team member needs encouragement or guidance, offer it. They need someone who listens and understands. If you complain about every detail and only see the worst in everything, you stand the chance of losing others. So an employee who feels you don't believe in them will not perform well, and this can create a ripple effect of low morale across the company. Instead, trust in others and their skill and inspire them to work tougher and obtain extra goals. Showing leadership skills across your business, creating and focusing positive energy even when things don't go accordingly to plan, is a secret to sustainable growth. The second most important skill you need to implement is learning how to resolve conflict. Don't be a manager from hell. Not everyone will get along all the time. Instead of ignoring interpersonal conflicts and hoping they'll just go away, address them by speaking to the private parties involved. A solution-oriented approach is always a successful leader. A leader needs to be able to draw his bow, point his arrow at a problem, and hit the target as often as he or she can. There are basically 3 different types of problem-solving situations, and you should be prepared for them all. The first one is to solve a problem before it occurs. The second is to solve a problem as it occurs. And the third is to solve a problem after it occurs. Problem solving involves finding out who was involved in similar problems in the past, finding out all those solutions, analyzing the current problem, then acting accordingly. Engage with talent. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that talented employees are essential for any business. However, it is unlikely that you will always attract the most talented employees in the market. You can try to select people as best as you can, but you won't be able to evaluate them until they are already on the job. So your first job as a leader is to help everyone on your team maximize their potential. This means much more than just setting up a training program. It means taking an interest in personal development of everyone on your team. Even if that means accepting the fact that they might leave your organization one day and go somewhere else to pursue their dreams. If you want the best people to work for you, the first step is to find the best in the people who are already working for you. Successful leaders know their talent pool and know how to use them. If they are adaptive and activate their employees' skills and knowing when to use their unique skills in the circumstances. Reward your employees. An effective leadership system offers certain intrinsic rewards or external incentives that attract, motivate, and retain the best and brightest in the group of leaders. These systems help leaders and give them the opportunity to network, support, and learn from one another, while at the same time coaching and mentoring their successors. As a leader, you should also use all of your resources carefully to develop the talents of other employees rather than rewarding selected proven leaders. Sustainable leadership systems take care of leaders and encourage them to take care of themselves. After all, leadership is only sustainable if it supports the executives themselves. Make things happen. Successful leaders are experts in decision making. Either they facilitate dialogue and help their employees make good decisions, or they do it themselves. They focus on making things happen anytime. There are some decisions that nobody wants to make, but they are forced to do so due to relentless time constraints or dire consequences. You can't always do a full analysis of the situation and predict what's going to happen in the future. This is why you should be quick on your feet, and you should also be able to make smart decisions, especially when you are stuck. As a manager, it is your responsibility to make a decision right away. Make effective decisions. Great leaders are determined and proactive. Prepare for any kind of problem and make sure you're ready to make tough decisions on the go. To be a good decision maker, you need to build consistent sources of good information, organize that information, and use it to your benefits. People say that great instincts help leaders make the right decisions, but it is through preparation that one develops these instincts. Decisions will be wrong, but take responsibility and come out stronger. You know what's more difficult than making tough decisions? It is accepting that sometimes you will make mistakes and you will make wrong decisions. It is your job to clean up the inevitable mess that you made, but don't be too hard on yourself. Nobody gets it right 100% of the time. Learn to be a good leader by accepting your mistakes responsibly. Don't make excuses or blame it on someone else. As we already discussed, this will inspire admiration and appreciation in your staff. You should also remember that just because you have a position of responsibility, you will not become clairvoyant or receive any special wisdom. However, with time, you will get better at making decisions. Once you can accept that, everything else will become easier. Prepare your successors. A great way for leaders to leave a greater legacy in their workplace is to make sure they share their vision with other team members and help develop them. Leadership succession in this sense, therefore, means that you should know how to prepare your successors so that the organization keeps improving and progressing even after you leave. No leader can control everything without help, and in short, leadership is a shared responsibility, and by working together, you can achieve the best results. Set concrete goals and achieve them. The best leaders never succeed randomly. They have the greatest vision that they believe in their work, their hats off until they can achieve the vision they want. If you want to be a good, successful leader, you need to do the same. Developing leadership skills, investing time in polishing your goals and your skills, and formulating the right plan while setting meaningful benchmarks will provide you with a roadmap that you will follow. When you have achieved a specific goal, the next goal, don't stop. Unless you want your organization to be stale in progress. The constant pursuit of the next benchmark gives you and your employees a sense and a pride. Always break down goals into smaller milestones, set deadlines, track your progress, and appreciate the small efforts so that you and your team can move forward towards your ideal vision. Establish a value system and a sense of purpose. In order to create an amazing legacy, you need to have a clear set of values and purpose. Not just that, you should have the willpower and the self-confidence to live by them. At times, these values might seem like it's inconvenience, but trust me, they will be beneficial in the long run. For that, first, you have to visualize what you want in your organization to be. Then you have to take steps to make this vision a reality. The second part is a much bigger challenge. It is to live by your values and goals. This requires self-management, commitment to personal growth, and a strong will. To be successful in this process, it is important not to look for holes in the cheese, as you will knock down good ideas and intentions before there is enough room for execution. Creating a purpose and culture of productivity is a lengthy development process, but its effect can be seen in the long run. So we all remember good leaders because they have the power to shape history. Leaders have a lot of influence on our day-to-day lives. Each one of us have come across a leader who has inspired us and motivated us in a way or one another. As they say, you will probably remember a good guide, but a great leader is truly unforgettable. Our actions define who we are. A great leader is not someone who gets the best of the best, but someone who has the ability to get the best out of the worst. With that said, that's all that we have for you guys today. I truly appreciate you watching. Did you find any of this helpful? Tell us in the comments below. And in the meantime, thanks for watching.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am super excited to be here today. Are you guys excited?
Yes.
So this is terminology. Some of you may know this terminology. It's called, you know, the vibe. Anybody know that term? Have I heard that term? Okay, so this is, when you walk into a room, there's a certain energy that you have to have in a room. And the energy, you kind of bounce off the energy. So when I walk into a room, I have to be energized by the people in the room. So what I need for you guys to do for the next 15 seconds is we're going to make some noise, okay? We're going to clap our hands. We're going to cheer, right? We're going to be excited because we are excited to be here together, right? So when I count 2, 3, we're going to do it together. So you guys are ready? 1, 2, 3. Excitement that we need in the room, because we are getting ready to go after our goals. We have to be so excited, we have to be so energized and ready, and so we feed off of each other's energy. I want to first acknowledge the Niagara Frontier Industry Education Council, also the Western New York National Academy of Finance, and Dr. John Craig for this invitation. This is truly an honor and a privilege to be here. And I'm going to jump into my story real quick. And I'm going to start it off this way. Last night was a crazy night for me. The only night I could really compare this to was like the night before the first day of high school. My mind was going 100 miles per hour. And I was thinking about the important things in life. Like, what am I going to wear? Right? Will all of my friends be in the same lunch period as me? The important things. Then I started having this vision that me and my friends were in a locker room and we were getting prepared for our annual high school pep rally. And I was getting ready to walk into the gymnasium. And I could hear everyone in the gymnasium cheering and chanting, excited. And they're holding poster signs that said, hashtag, you're the best. Hashtag, you're number one. So I started waving my hands to everybody that looked around. And then I looked down to the left of my hands, and I was holding a basketball in my left hand. And then it seems like there was an interruption. What am I doing? I don't even play basketball. Why is there basketball in my hand? So you know what? I came to the understanding that I got to wake up in the morning and I have to do this speech to these high school students. What am I doing? I don't even know what to say to them. Am I even good enough to talk? What if I mess up? Only got 4 hours to sleep. Why do they have these conferences so early in the morning? Do I really want to do this? Just that quick, I started to talk myself out of this opportunity. By show of hands, how many of you have ever talked yourself out of something? The truth of the matter is we've all talked ourselves out of something in life. And sometimes it's beneficial to talk ourselves out of some things. For instance, now don't judge me. In the past, I'll be slightly going over the speed limit. I don't know if we can actually go slightly over, but driving a little fast. And so when the officer pulled me over, I would come up with all these type of excuses to talk myself out of getting a ticket. So maybe you had a group of friends that invited you somewhere. You were so amped, so pumped, so excited to be there. And then you find out there's two other friends that are tagging along that you really don't vibe with, you don't get along with. They bring negative energy. So now you got to figure out, how do I talk myself out of this situation? And so you call them up, Snapchat them, and you say, listen, my mom wants me to do laundry on Friday, so I don't think I can go. And they're looking at you like, what? You gotta do laundry on a Friday night? Man, my mom's tripping. I don't know. So you talked yourself out of it. So we've learned the concept of talking ourselves out of certain things. Today, I want to have us all focus on the shift that allows us to talk ourselves into our purpose, our goal in life. So, growing up, I always felt I had a lot of things going against me. One being that I was African American male. That was poor. I grew up in a single parent household. I didn't have a lot of positive role models in my life. I didn't have a lot of community resources. Would I become another statistic in life with the only option of jail or death? This was the foundation to my fear, my self-doubt, and to my low self-esteem. So I carried that with me through the years. It was not until I got into the 4th grade where someone outside of my family recognized something in me. It was my teacher. She began to encourage me. She began to tap into my potential. But that only lasted so long. When I arrived to 9th grade, getting a 65-point average was simply okay for me. I accepted just getting by. I had no desire or interest in going to college. The fact that no one in my neighborhood was talking about going to college. So why should I? So there was a guidance counselor who always tried to convince me to go to this college fair. Rob, go to this college fair. It's a great opportunity for you. So I decided to go to this college fair. I wasn't expecting anything. So I walked into the college fair, and what I witnessed was something amazing. It was the first time in my life that I seen individuals that looked like me, came from my neighborhoods. I walked away from that college fair and said, wow, maybe this is for me. Maybe there is opportunity for me. So the very next day, I went to my guidance counselor office, and I said it kind of shy and timid, I think I want to go to college. And so he pulled out the transcript, and he said, I'm going to be honest with you, Rod. We're going to have to do a lot of work with these grades. So we're going to come up with the plan together. So we sat down for 30, 45 minutes, and we worked on the plan. And so I walked out of the hallway, I walked out of the office, And I remember looking at the sheet of paper of the goals that we created. And in the hallway, I'm like, I really don't know if I can do this. This is a lot of work. I mean, I don't have a lot of time to do this. Like, what about my friends, my free time? What if I do this for nothing? Is this even worth it? So it wasn't days, it was actually weeks. And I remember this night perfectly. That I was sitting in my room, and I remember getting out of bed, and I'm walking to the garbage can, and I pull out the ball.
So we all remember good leaders because they have the power to shape history.